check this out, boss. You locked in for another episode of Really Speaking the Podcast. I need y'all to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. And today, man, I can't lie to y'all. We got to get straight to it, man. We got a statesman in hip hop, a super producer, a Grammy nominated with a whole bunch of hits. And we're going to let him explain that. But without further ado, I want to introduce to my audience, Chad Roper. What's going on,
What's
boss?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me, man. I'm blessed, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Man, listen, I can't lie. We got to get into it. If you was just to name some of the hits that you was a part of, like just for the audience that don't know, my audience. I know a lot of people have heard about you, but I just want to really get to some of your big records, man, that you actually was a part of.
Let's do a couple because, we want to get to the game. With the stuff. Come on. So I worked on a record of Rihanna, my first Grammy-nominated record called Skin. That I worked with Rihanna on.
That was off the Loud album?
Loud album. Yep. Okay. And then I did a song with Rico. We did a song called Boyfriend Number 2, Pleasure P. That was a big record too. So we did that. Man, how many years ago was that? I can't remember.
I remember Boyfriend Number 2.
Yeah, we did that when Pleasure left
Pretty Ricky, the group.
The first song he came out with was Boyfriend Number 2. Yeah.
So you was a producer on that record?
No, I was the vocal producer.
Okay,
the producer was Earl, Eric, and Rico. Rico wrote it, and I vocal produced it.
And Earl, Eric, and Rico was the two guys from Milwaukee?
No, Earl and Eric is from Milwaukee. Rico Love, obviously.
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah, those who we signed, Earl and Eric. Yep.
Yeah, okay, y'all signed them. Yeah, I remember that because I remember that was the story went that Rico had signed two producers from Milwaukee.
Yeah, and he signed them was Eric like a little brother to me. I've been knowing since we were kids. We grew up in church. Obviously, I'm older than Eric, but he's like a little brother. Okay. And then him and Earl partnered. Okay. So I knew Eric. I met Earl through Eric years ago. So then when me and Rico was running around the country doing records with people, he was like, "Man, I want to work with some producers from Milwaukee." So I introduced him to Earl and Eric and Sean Hinton. So if you go back to when Rico did Michelle Williams for Destiny's Child, you'll see Sean Hinton, who's from here, who's Mary J. Blige's music director now. He's been with Mary for 15, 16 years. And then you'll see Earl and Eric on the album. That's because Rico specifically said he wanted to grab some producers from Milwaukee. And at the time, neither one of them were signed to him. He just wanted to generally work with Milwaukee producers. So I called him and said, "Send me some beats now." I was out of LA. And then next thing you know, it just started clicking. They just worked well together. And Rico was like, "I'm finna sign them." I said, "Do what you gotta do."
That's dope.
They got thousands of hits together, man. So
yeah. Hey man, I like how you try to skip over that Rihanna hit, man. That was
man.
He tried to skip over that. Hey,
that was my first Grammy nomination, man.
That's the big boy
story
right there.
Behind it is,
how did you get that? How did you get that crack at Rihanna?
Check this out. I was at the time I was at work. I had just stopped working as a high school math teacher. So this was years ago. This is 20-some years ago. And I was working as a crisis stabilizer, helping young people. And the governor, Scott Walker, had got into office, and he canceled the funding for the wraparound services for the state of Wisconsin, which affected all of our jobs as crisis stabilizers. So on that Monday, we all was told that the funding is going to be gone, so all of us were let go. That after that, this is Monday morning. So that afternoon, after I left the office, I'm riding up Capitol to go get something to eat because the facility was on Sherman and Capitol, right across the street from the gas station. So I'm riding up Capitol to go grab some food. My man Sounds called me. He go by BMW Kenny nowadays, but he was back then producer Sounds. He like, "Yo, what you got going on?" Just checking in, how we always do. Sounds is originally from Milwaukee, but at the time he's living out in L.A. He like, "Man, what you got?" I said, "Man, ain't nothing to it. What's up, bro?" I was like, "Man, I just got the boot. I just got fired, so I'm chilling. I ain't got nothing going on. What's up, man?" He like, "Man, when next time you come out to LA?" I'm like, "I'm coming tomorrow." He like, "All right, cool." I was like, "I'll send you my flight info." So literally, I went, got something to eat, went to the studio, bought me a flight to LA. He's like, "How long you gonna stay?" I said, "I'm gonna stay a month." So I sent him my info. He picked me up. He's like, "Man, I got a call yesterday to come to this Rihanna right camp. You might as well just fall through since you're here." So the fact that I got fired, most people would have looked at that as a negative and been pouting and feeling sorry for themselves. I tell people, a pity party is the only party you can throw that don't nobody want to be invited to. So you can throw a pity party and just be there by yourself, depressed. But what I did was I looked at it as an opportunity for me to go make something happen, because it was a reason why the job got taken away.
Right.
So I went out to LA and literally stayed a month, but within the first week there, we did some songs for Rihanna. And one of the songs was Skin. And then out of 166 or 65 songs, that was one of the 12 or 13 that went on the
That
album.
was selected. Wow.
So it's just about the energy you put behind things. When things don't go your way, what is your energy behind it? Now, I'm a Christian. I grew up a Christian, so I'm gonna use God a lot. Some people may be universe. Some people may be Muslim. Whatever your higher power is. So to me, I feel like one thing our higher powers are, whether it's whoever, they don't bless or help complaints. They bless or help work. So you have to put the work behind whatever it is you're doing, because the perks don't come without the work. You gotta put the work in. You refer to the Bible, but people can look in the Quran and other whatever they study, and it says faith without works is dead. People always talk about having faith, but they never talk about the works without works part. And then if you look in the Quran, there's something that says something similar. I don't know the terminology, how it reads.
Yeah, how it
there's something that says something very similar. So you got to make sure in whatever it is you're doing, when things start to pivot on you, you be able to adapt with the pivot that's coming your way, that you don't even recognize what it's doing. It's like if we were on the way here, you said our start time was this time. Obviously, I was here early, but if one of us was running late, it may have been a blessing in disguise that we was running late, because on the way here, as I came down here, there was an accident that I saw. That it looked like youngsters was driving crazy and smacked somebody.
Yeah.
Now, had I been in a hurry or rush, that could have been me, because I drove right. It literally happened the police weren't even there yet.
Right.
So you got to understand that your detours are blessings. You just got to realize it.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And not to cut you out, to go back to the job thing, it to me, it was like, I looked at that as, man, they closed the window on you, and then you went to LA and they opened the door for you.
Exactly.
Because I think sometimes people don't see the blessings in the negative, because it's not actually even negative. Like, I got this saying, right, that if me and you create a relationship and we cool and we rocking, and if I be 100% me, be me the whole way, and you walk away from me being me, I didn't lose nothing.
Absolutely.
It was addition by subtraction.
Facts.
I subtracted that out of my life and added value. So sometimes people got to realize, when you subtract things out your life, it add value. So for you to lose that job, and your guy to say, man, come out here to LA, and then you say, hey, let's go to this camp. Obviously, the moral of the story is you better have you some good friends.
That's a fact.
You better have you some good partners, because that's what I took out of that.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of people that won't allow that.
The difference is, though, and that's a fact, but you got to also understand how to treat people. See, that's what it goes back to. That's the part that people don't see.
Yeah, they missed that. Yeah, that's too.
Right, because see, at that point, Sounds was established as a big producer and doing his thing. But I knew Sounds when he was getting evicted. And things of that nature.
And you never treated him.
I treated him the same every
way.
time. So now it's a pleasure to talk to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it goes always back. Treat the janitor like the CEO, because he or she just might be one day.
Right. And you know, there's another quote. I love Maya Angelou. She said, people forget what you did, they forget what you said, but you never get how you made them feel.
Absolutely. So that's the key.
So
you got to make sure you put that energy. Yeah. So when people come across me, it could be the worst day of their lives. I don't want to add to it.
Fact.
That's how I always treat it. I don't know what nobody going through. No matter what kind of face they put on when they sit in front of you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going through outside of what we're doing currently. So what I'm going to do is make it a pleasant experience while you're around me. That's at least my goal.
And also, though, you spoke on the Bible and doing things the way, but it's something in 1 Corinthians when it say, everything you do, you have to do it with love. For you don't have love, you have nothing.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where people be missing out at.
Facts.
They don't do things with the love in it. No matter what you attain in life, if there ain't no love involved in it, it really ain't nothing. So I think sometimes, like, people forget that's where passion come from. You do it from love. You got love for it.
Right.
And then your passion turned into a profit, obviously. So most people take the love out of everything and think they supposed to get the same results. So that's deep. Question.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Rihanna?
Yeah.
You met her?
Absolutely.
You met her? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
Very, like, I tell people this. The bigger the artist, 9 times out of 10, the nicer they are. It's the artists that's on the way up that have the attitudes and the thing. But it's the huge artists, very, very, very. I don't like to use the word humble, but they're very down to earth. I'll use that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're very people person.
They gracious.
Which is why they are who they are for the most part. There are some big artists that aren't that way.
Yeah.
But for the 90%,
they grateful.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, for sure.
Man, look, got a lot of great stories. And that's to me, like what I liked about you is that you reached out to me on my way up.
Yeah, facts.
You ain't sit back and watch and see, okay, let's see what this finna turn into. And then let me, you know what I mean? Because you got a lot of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in your position, like we were saying off camera, like if you walk in a room and it's 6 dudes with a suit on looking fancy, then there's you over here in this jogger. Who you think the most important person in the room is? Well, I'm going to the person in that jogger.
Right.
Because he don't feel a need to have cosmetics to try to impress.
Exactly.
He's really already established, like we was talking off camera about the Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people who deal with you on your way up, because I feel personally, everybody got great potential. We just lack direction.
Facts.
So sometimes we be going the wrong way, the right way. Sometimes we just need the direction where to go, and sometimes we need that further encouragement. And you were part of my process in that, just to figure out your stature in this game and where all the things you accomplished, to actually give me the encouragement, give me the I call it the outlet to you.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And as a me being a person, I never have wanted to abuse that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Frivolous conversations, calling for nothing. Because sometimes people would get your number, man, and it'd just be the worst thing you could ever did.
Right.
Why I get this my number?
Right.
You ain't talking about nothing.
No, for sure. But see, the thing is with me is I try to be to people what I didn't have. So I didn't have anybody on my way up to give me game from here that was doing something on a major level. Mm-hmm. Because we were that. Me and Rico were those people, those guys. Mm-hmm. So my goal was to make sure that I created an environment for those coming up that's trying to do something that I've already done. It don't have to be in the same space. It don't have to be songwriting, producing, engineering. It could be in any area, because business is business.
Yes.
And all I said to you was, I reached out to you and I said, man, I see what you got going on. If you ever need something, holla at me. I'm available at your discretion. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm not putting no pressure. Like, you don't have to. I'm just saying, if there's a situation where you need to holla at somebody, just know you got somebody who's done some things, and then you can holler at me and see if there's something that's in the vein of what you're doing that I've done already. That's all. I just give you game, like help give you direction. At the end of the day, all the decisions you make is on you. But to me, I would rather have as much information before I make any decisions, because to me, then you're able to make the most. I always say, strive to be a master decision maker, because then you'll have less headaches in your life. Now, we're gonna mess up because we're human.
Facts.
But the more you learn to master decision making, it makes it easier. And how do you make good decisions? With information.
Yeah.
You make bad decisions because you lack the knowledge. So if I'm able to give you some knowledge on something that you may not be, I'm like, man, they shooting over there, don't go over there, I just can't. Okay. So now you would say, oh, man, I'm going to go the other way. A smart person would say that. So to me, it's the same concept, because what people don't understand in this business, and not just the music business, but just business period, you don't get what you deserve. You don't get what you earn. You get what you negotiate.
Okay.
So if I can prevent you from taking the wrong path in a negotiation or anything, I'm here to facilitate. If there's things, like I had a friend of mine who did a deal with a company. I'm their friend. They talk to you about everything else. Why wouldn't you talk to me about a deal you get ready to do, and the deal wasn't a great deal for that person? So I helped them get out of that deal and helped them get in a better situation. But to me, it makes no sense to lose years, you lose time because you didn't want to reach out, or ego was involved, or you thought you had to pay a fee. If you paying me a fee, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna make way more than you would have made negotiating for yourself anyway. Facts. You know what I'm saying? You might have got $200,000 for yourself, but I might have got you $1 million. You might have just paid me $200,000 though. So you up $800. So you 4x what you would have made anyway.
Yeah.
So
which is smart.
Yeah. So you got to look at it like that. But in our community, we're not trained or taught to collaborate. We're trained or taught to compete. But see, when you deal with the other communities, they're trained the art of collaboration. And once we learn the art of collaboration with each other, then that's when our community starts to turn around, where we are not dead last in all wealth categories. We're not dead last in all wealth categories.
So I got a question for you. You was talking about information.
Yeah.
As a man of business and a man of any artist or any person that's seeking information, how do you determine the difference between some good information and some great information in your explanation?
Okay, so
that's the question. How do you determine between good information and great information? Because it's a lot of information out here.
Right. So what you have to do is find information that's a niche in your space, meaning that's specifically catered to the situation that you are getting ready to get into or looking to get information for. So, for example, if you're an artist and you're getting ready to do a deal, there's two kind of artists. There's artists that hustle, and there's artists that don't really hustle. They're just talented. The artists that hustle, to me, signing with a record company can be good, but may not be the best option. But for artists that don't really have that hustle in them, they need to sign to a label because they need something behind them to push them. They're not self-motivated. They just have talent.
Okay.
So I'm gonna speak to the artist that hustles. To me, my suggestion would be, let's see how far you can take it on your own first. So now when it's time to go potentially entertain deals, you got the leverage, because in any negotiation, it's about who got the leverage, who gonna get the best of that situation. I don't care. If you got, for example, now mind you, I'm saying this in hopes that the business side was top tier. When the labels was trying to sign Glorilla, right? She had all the leverage because that song was going crazy. Now, if her business side, I'm gonna assume, I'm just gonna always hope the best for people, was on point. When it's time to negotiate her deal, she got a lot of things that the average new artist wouldn't have received because of the leverage she had walking in the door.
Right.
So to me, it's about making sure that you have the information that's particularly tailored to the situation
you in.
Exactly.
That's how you determine.
That's how you determine if it's good or bad information. And then it's just like when you go to the doctor and you hurt something or whatever in your body. You ever heard of them saying we need to get a second opinion?
Yeah.
You need to take that approach when you're dealing with information. Get a second opinion. And sometimes your second opinion is not from another person. It's from actually going to do research. See, what our community don't understand is research is not to prove that what you believe is correct. It's to prove what you believe may not be right. So, for example, if I'm trying to vote for a Republican or a Democrat,
let that go over their head.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was.
If I'm anti-Harris, right? I don't want to vote for Harris. If I'm doing research, I'm not trying to find everything that's bad about Harris. I'm trying to disprove why I'm anti-Harris. If I'm really doing real research, how do I know? I got my degree in chemical engineering, so that's how we did research to disprove what we believe and go stick strictly to the facts. So that's what most people don't do. Most people try to do research to prove they're right instead of find the actual facts, whether it's what you believe or disbelieve. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where propaganda comes from.
That's exactly where propaganda comes from.
Yeah.
So to me, it's about making sure the other person or whoever you're getting the knowledge from, once you get that information, you then go do real research. Now you understand what it is. Yeah.
That makes sense. So, man, I know you got some hip hop stories, man. I know you got some stories.
Man,
I know you got one you could share, man, because I know
I got a story I can share that's not real. I'm not gonna say nothing crazy, but this is actually a positive. I like to do everything in positivity. So me and Rico were here in Milwaukee, and Gucci had a show, and Rico and Gucci hooked up some kind of communicated, and then Gucci, this is at the rave when he was here, and he brought Rico out to do They Don't Know, that type of thing. And this was the build of their relationship, in the industry. And so me and Rico, we were in Miami working. I think it was me, Rico, and Chris Bosh, basketball player Chris Bosh. He's a producer, so we all working. And Rico like, yo, I got a session with Gucci. And then we probably seen Gucci maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior here, but so the whole time we thought that Gucci lived in Atlanta, but he really lived in Miami. So we didn't know that. We just assumed he Atlanta, but he lived in Miami. So we're with the studio. He about to pull up. So we go outside, thinking this is the thought you have. He gonna have security, this and this and that. Man pulled up and dropped out Rolls Royce by himself early, bro. Like, how you tell an artist we gonna start at 2. Well, if we say 2, me and Rick could be there like noon. You know what I'm saying? Messing me, we get there early just in case, and just make sure everything's on point. So when artists get there, if they're ready to just jump in the booth, they can. And Goose came through, spoke. It was Danger Rico. It was at Danger Studio, who's a huge producer. It was his studio, and so he come in. We sitting down chopping it up and talking, and so we're like, man, what you need? You need anything? He like, man. So the runner, the person who go get everything for us is there. He like, man, we like what you need or whatever. He's like, man, I just need some candy. He's like, since I don't do drugs and none of that no more, my thing is candy. So he had the runner go to the gas station to grab a bunch of different candy. You know what I'm saying?
And this in Miami?
This in Miami, yeah. This is the gas station up the street. He grabbed some candy or whatever. But we were doing a song called "Missing My Woe" was the name of the song. It's on Mr. Davis' album. And in that, I got a chance, me and him just got a chance to sit down and just chop it up. Now, you had this preconceived notion of him from the stories you hear if you don't know somebody.
Yeah, if you don't know somebody.
But the conversation that we had with him, man, was so in-depth. It was like us having a conversation. Yeah, right. Like it was a real in-depth conversation, how he was explaining his process when he was in jail, when he got how his viewpoint changed, all that. It was like so dope, bro.
Pulled up in
literally, yeah, he put up crazy. But the crazy thing was we spent more time talking than recording.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
What year was this around that you can remember?
Oh man,
because that had to been like 06, 07?
No, it was later than that. This was
later?
After he got out of jail. He was in shape and slim. How he is now.
Oh, okay, so that's probably.
So I can't. Maybe 2017. Maybe,
oh, okay,
something like that.
That was super recent.
Yeah,
okay.
It's something like that. But the thing is, what that whole experience, because we didn't just work with him that day. Yeah. We worked for a couple of days. Like we did another song. Monica flew in to come sing the hook. You know what I'm saying? And that's on the album as well. And then we was at the studios. Nelly came to the studio. Like we were just all hang, like it was just like one big thing. So it was like 2017 to 18, maybe something like that.
Okay.
But it just showed me that literally having a preconceived notion of somebody can be so misconstrued if you just don't give that person the opportunity. But obviously the average individual is not gonna have that kind of access to somebody, like a Gucci or something. But that can go across with anybody, not just artists. It could go with different people that you met. Okay. People might have preconceived notions of me because they never met me before. Right. You know what I'm saying? And there are stories out there of me being an asshole because I just handle business. So when you handle business correctly and you're doing business only your way, people will call you an asshole. Yeah. I'll accept that. I'm cool with that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're gonna do business my way. If we're gonna do business, or don't worry about it. You go ahead and find somebody to do business with. That's not a problem. Right. But until you actually encounter me, have a conversation with me. Then you know what I'm saying. And
your business savvy basically come from experience. Like when somebody been in them trenches, been in them rooms, been in the negotiations, man, they know the ins and outs. You know the goods and the bad. So it ain't even necessarily my way. It's just my understanding of having the experience. Now, if you had a different experience, cool. Mm-hmm. But it be the people that's never even been in them situations trying to tell somebody that been in them situations how to actually go about it. That doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to us. But another thing is you have to teach people how to treat you.
Oh, for
you
sure.
have to have a standard.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
I've been having that for a while.
Exactly.
I don't let nobody play with me. I don't play with people.
It ain't even about playing with me because.
But I ain't talking about no physical. Like I'm not gonna play with nobody or you gonna come at me. This type of person I am. Anything I ask for, I'm already giving. Example. I ask for respect, I'm gonna give it.
Facts.
Because I come in peace and I lead with respect.
Yeah.
A lot of people be asked for things that they're not even willing to give.
Facts.
Like, how's you asking me to give? You ain't even giving the courtesy. You ain't giving the respect. I'm not giving you nothing you're not giving me. That's just me, period. So how I show you how to treat me is how I'm showing you how I want to be treated.
Facts.
So it's like most people be having that screwed because people be asking for respect, ain't showing none. Asking for love, ain't giving none. Like, bro, you're not even giving what you asking for. So first you got to work on that. But yeah, that's just to cover your thoughts. Gucci Man in Miami, that was dope, man.
Yeah, man. That's
And
just something like,
you had this quote that I heard you say. You said, and I want you to elaborate on it. You said, God doesn't give you a dream that you can't pay for.
Absolutely.
Elaborate. What you mean by
what
that?
that means is this: before any of us are born, we're ordained in some area in our life.
Okay.
So everything that you've been through in your life, it was ordained. Otherwise, it would not have occurred. This is what Christians, somebody like myself, believe.
Okay.
So everything that you've been through up to this point led you to where you are. So the experiences you had in your life would occurred because there was something inside of you that you didn't unlock yet until you've been through certain situations, whether it was trouble or whatever it may have been, to get you to the point where now you're somebody that is looking up to you that you don't even know right now. Somebody right now is literally watching you from wherever, the penitentiary, wherever, in the bag, they down and out, and they looking at your page every single day that you will never even know until one day they run up and see you somewhere, and you can be like, you're gonna notice it because it's gonna shake you in a way. You can be like, I cannot believe this. You know what I'm saying? If it hasn't already happened. But what that says is there was something that you had. It may be a feeling, a thought, or something, but I call it a dream. That's just my terminology for it. That you had inside that you knew, regardless, you was gonna make it. Some people, it might be the NBA, it might be the NFL, it might be MLB, it might be whatever, the biggest artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? But that dream, that if it's really ordained from them before they were even thought about being on this planet, is already taken care of. It's just you got to go through the steps in order to make sure you can retain when you get it. And a lot of times we'll be asked, I can think of me, how I wanted to be in this session, in that session, in this session. I wanted to do this and this and that. But when I actually started getting in the sessions, I started realizing, I'm glad I ain't getting them sessions I was talking about. Because if I'd have got in there, I would have blew it. I would have messed it up. I wasn't ready. But we always think we're ready as humans.
Okay.
So what that is it gives me an opportunity to get those 10,000 hours in. So when I'm in the studio with a whoever, it's a smooth transition. I'm moving just as fast as they want to move, and everything's working out smoothly. I'm not messing up. If I'm engineering, I'm not messing up the timing of them because they're waiting on me to learn what I'm doing. So that's what I mean by God doesn't give you a dream
that you can't pay for.
That he hasn't already paid for.
Oh, he already paid for.
You see what I'm saying? So that means everything you need to get there is at your disposal. You just got to be smart enough to figure out what or who it is that can get you to where you're going. And then you got to also, here's the cold part though. You got to also understand when seasons are up for people that's in your life too. See, because it could be $100,000 in this cup for me, $1 million in this cup for me. But if you ain't meant to be around me to receive this, until you are no longer around me, until you are excused, I won't even be able to get that $1 million in this cup.
That's what's up.
So you got to understand the difference of seasons as well. But a lot of times, because of how we grew up, loyalty is a big thing in the community until somebody get in trouble, right? But quote unquote, loyalty is a big thing. You can't you can't be loyal to a fault.
Okay. Well, look, we're going to pay some bills. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, man. We're going to continue this conversation, man.
Absolutely.
Believe that.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you this. You being a producer, you done dealt with a lot of artists. When did R&B literally like just take a back seat in the industry? Because it's this thing out here that R&B is dead. I know you done heard it.
Of course.
And with the new generation and everything going on now, like, where did that shift come from? And do you think it can make a comeback as far as the essence of love and speaking on the positive things about the woman in the R&B perspective? Like, where you think that
music happens in cycles, man. So it's nothing new that different genres take turns moving in rotation.
Okay.
It happens every 5
So R&B ain't dead.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you got Summer Walker, you got Bryson Tiller, you got what's the brother name that's really doing the big that's independent? Oh man, I could picture his face.
Summer Walker, Bryson Tiller.
It's a male artist, and I can't think of it. Worldwide, he got a partnership with Worldwide Top. Brent Fayez is who I'm thinking of.
Brent Fayez.
Yeah,
Never heard of him.
Man, he's huge.
I gotta check him
He's
out.
huge, bro. But like, you have artists that's doing major. You got Eric Bellinger. It's a lot of dope.
He just did it, just dude. Shout out to Eric Bellinger.
Yeah, you got SZA. I mean, R&B's not dead. Man, I went to SZA concert, bro. It was packed like the biggest hip hop, like a Drake concert.
So that's just the media.
That's the media.
That's the narratives getting pushed.
Absolutely. But
hip hop is not.
There are the R&B from back in the day is. I'm like, you don't have like a Jodeci out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Certain things like that. But that's just a change in time. There are no singing groups.
Because it just seemed like it's an agenda right now to like push certain type of ideologies on our people with the music.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like back when I was younger, we also had a mixture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had Lil Kim and Jackie. We had all Foxy Brown, but we also had Queen Latifah, MC Lyte. It was a balance. And now it's like just so much of that and there's no balance. So I'm looking at it from, I look at it from a different scope. I'm like, oh, it must be an agenda. Because we're not teaching the kids how to love. Because now our kids got to hear some of this stuff. Like, I don't knock the hustle, how you get your money. If this is what you grew up under, you rapping about what you see, I'm cool on that.
Right.
But why we pushing so much of that and not, you know what I mean? So
because we don't own it. So when you don't own it, those who own it get to push the agenda. Who you think own the labels?
Oh, yeah. No, that's deep. You're right.
See, if it was us who had the ownership, the real true ownership,
yeah,
we could push whatever agenda we want.
Okay.
But when you have other communities in ownership positions and you are considered the employee, so to speak, you have to do what is asked. It's like if you work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
If you own fries, you got to keep dropping fries. So you got to go whatever the agenda is.
It's good to own it. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's what it boils down to.
So I know you met Rico Love in college. You told the story.
Yeah,
you made him introduce you to the music game. So you've been knowing him for a while. So I'm trying to figure out where was you at in 2009. Can you remember where was you at? Was you living here? Was you living out of the state?
Atlanta.
You was in Atlanta in 2009.
Yeah.
So I remember it was a story that came out that Rico Love actually feared for his life here.
Mm-hmm. I was with him the whole time.
And security was like a high thing. I never forget HOP guys, whatever, had a situation with him.
But listen.
And I didn't like I was kind of like young, so I'm watching this. And at the time, be honest with you, I was fighting just like we always had a vision, a dream of just seeing somebody make it from Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. That's all we ever cared about. Like us being artists, I mean, there's plenty of people from the beginning till now. And what I realize is I'm like, I feel like we push a lot of our people away from here.
So check this out. First of all, let me say this.
So you remember the situation I'm talking about?
But there was no fear on our end. I was with him every day.
Okay.
It'd be me and him by ourselves.
Because that was in the papers, though.
Yeah,
I don't think it came out of his mouth per se, but I read that in the papers.
It would be me and him going places by ourselves. So if you're fearful, you're going to have 15, 20 people with you.
Yeah.
We would be by ourselves.
And they worded it like security was at a high risk for him at the time.
So,
and he feared for his life. So when I was reading that, I was kind of upset about that.
So what the city does is...
Because he could have helped us back then.
He was trying to. That's the crazy part. So what the city does is this. And I'm not saying the entire city.
Right.
But what happens is, and this is not just Milwaukee, this is period. When you're from a town this size, a city this size, right? And you actually make progress. What it does is it shows those who say they're trying to do the same thing what they're not doing. And it exposes them. Give you an example. Rico's rapping, and not you, but I'll use you for example.
Yeah.
And you're trying to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
And you telling your baby mama, I'm about to do this and that. You telling her all these things you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you having these ideas, but you're not putting action behind the ideas.
Okay.
But then there's another person who has very similar goals and ideas, but they're actually putting action behind and work behind it. So they become successful. Guess what it does to you? It makes you look like your ideas, because you're not putting in the work for real, seriously. It's just that, an idea. So now, your baby mama or your girl's like, I like this such and such from here. You heard of such and such from here. Bring it to your attention. Now, I thought you was trying to do this too. You see what I'm saying? So now it's exposing what work you're not putting in.
Okay, now I want to speak on this. There's two ways I look at that. One, what you just spoke on, Boosie spoke on that on the Vlad interview. He said a lot of people be hypnotized with hate.
Facts.
Because so many people speak to kids saying play this, the girl, all that. So, but I always looked at somebody from here making it, right, as, damn, I ain't that far. He did it.
Yeah, but that's you. That's not
that smart. But
that's
how
normal.
you supposed to look
that's
at
not
it.
normal. See,
you
that's
supposed to look at it
that's
like
how people who
that means I'm not that far.
It's like this. It's the old saying: if you my friend and God blessing you, that means what? He in the neighborhood.
He in the neighborhood.
Right.
So that's how you supposed to look at it.
That only pertains to a small percentage of individuals. You do understand that, right? That's not the norm. It's the norm to you, or for me, it's the normal thing.
Yeah.
I can see something and it will motivate me. It wouldn't do the opposite. But for 95% of people, it does the complete opposite, especially when the situation they're in isn't up to par.
Right.
So, yeah, for you, yes. But look what you're doing, though. Look what we're doing right now. So,
right.
Of course, it would do that for you.
Okay.
But there's somebody who want to do this right now that's mad at you. That you don't even know. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So, that's what it does when people from the town you're from, I experienced it. I experienced it with Rico. Check this out.
Yeah.
I experienced it with lakeyah.
Well, I was gonna get it.
Well,
listen, we gonna talk about
I'm
that
just saying,
too. But
I'm just giving you examples of. It don't matter who it is. You see, they tried to hate on the boy JP.
I hear that.
Okay, so it's
a cycle. Okay. But what I wanted to talk about in particular with Rico was that, like you say, he did try to help the town, and I feel as if them situations made him not necessarily turn his back on the town, but it's kind of like, why would I help y'all? Y'all really trying to hurt me.
Make him turn his back.
I'm talking about. Hold on, let me just give you the perception.
Okay. Yeah.
That's probably not the reality. That's what you here for, to give me the reality. The perception was like, damn, this nigga just turned his back on the town for a few bad apples, and then it was like clips getting floating around years ago where he was on interviews saying he was from Harlem and not Milwaukee, and people were just so upset about that. And I was one of them dudes vocal like, well, shit, why would he? Because with the information I had, I'm thinking, why would I represent this motherfucker? Because it's a history in Milwaukee that everybody, because ever since I blew up, bro, I promise you right hand of Jesus, these people that follow me from Texas, Atlanta, New York, and they ask me, who from your city? And I get the name in K Camp, Eric Benet, Tank, Rico. They like, really? I never heard them say they from Milwaukee.
Tank say it all the time.
My point exactly, though.
Yeah. K-Camp say it. Everybody say it, bro.
But it's sort of like what you say.
It's selective hearing.
It's selective hearing and the information that they're looking for, because that's
Rico,
the problem.
There was a show back in the day. We're old enough, but those who watch it are probably not old enough. But you can YouTube, because YouTube is a hell of a tool. He was on a show called TRL Live with Usher. Before, what people don't know is before the taping, I'm his friend, so I know this behind the scenes story. They was trying to tell him, because Rico's mother is from Milwaukee. Miss Bev is from Milwaukee. Rico's father is from New York.
Yes.
Right? Rico was born in New Orleans. Right?
That's interesting.
But he was raised in Milwaukee and New York. But he spent most of his time because his parents, so you're going back and forth with your parents. Yeah. But obviously, who do you spend most time with? Your mama, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he from Milwaukee. So TR Live, he goes on a TR Live behind the scene. They're saying, "Say you from New York. Say you from New York. Say you from New York." We were like, "I ain't doing that." So when they get on with Carson Daly or whoever the host was, I think it was Carson Daly, and Usher, that is my artist Rico Love. You can go watch this on YouTube. The mill is in the building. I'm from Milwaukee, blah, blah. He doing it so much, Usher got to go to Mills in the building. It's on YouTube. You can see it.
So do your research.
So that's all. What I say earlier about research is to disprove what you already believe.
And it's crazy because the first song I ever heard Rico did. It was a soundtrack for a movie that Usher. Settle down now.
Yeah.
Waistline rhyme to the baseline.
Yeah.
And it was a soundtrack for the actual movie that Usher was in.
Exactly.
I think it's called This Is It or something or whatever.
I don't remember.
I can't remember the movie,
yeah.
but it was a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was like I remember he used to come here to the lyric and
he said something from the meal. He said the meal in the song.
Yeah, yeah.
So at the end of the day, people have selective hearing.
Right.
So at the end of the day, what we don't do, me, Rico, whoever, my goal ain't to prove nothing to nobody, bro.
Yeah.
So in that situation, right, our goal was to be the biggest in the world. Guess what? He did it.
Facts.
So he ain't got to prove nothing. And then what he did was just because he didn't specifically make announcements about this production team. From Milwaukee, like everything.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. Them boyfriend number 2. Yeah, I know that.
So
I just want to tell you, Rico, listening, man. If you ever hear this, the real love you. Like it's the real OG Tweezy. What you did for Tweezy on his album a couple years ago, man. It's just like you done a lot of real boss moves behind closed doors, and we respect you. But it's too much propaganda. It's too much narratives being spent, and people don't do their research. So I'm here to like correct things and get the real, because one day I would love to sit down with Rico and just have a conversation with him, and it don't have to be all about the negative. It's more about the things that people don't know, and that's and it was just one of them things, man. Because I'm like, man. He was, I forgot what year it was. It was ASCAP Songwriter of the Year. Like this man wrote so many records.
It was 5 years in a row.
Yeah, I remember.
It was I think it was C-Sec.
And I'm reading about this in the penitentiary. They like Rico Love, ASCAP Songwriter of the Year. He wrote songs, Fat Joe, Mr. Shell, the girl from Destiny Child. Like all these people just naming. And I'm just like, man, he from Milwaukee, and it's just me. The representation feel good. So,
but I want to say this to you on your way up. Your goal is never to look back and try to prove yourself to people who don't want the proof anyway.
Right.
You do not.
Because they already got their perception.
They don't matter, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
It don't matter.
Okay.
So that's one thing we ain't never been on is trying to prove it. So we don't care. Believe what you want to believe. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Type. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
But at least that's how we look at it. That's how I've always.
And I got something similar to that because I say I don't have to tell my side of the story. Time will.
Exactly. And
what I mean by that is if me and this individual is at odds and he's saying his side about me, well, time gonna really tell what. Because you're gonna see how people life turn out.
Exactly.
Versus, that's how I look at it. So yeah, man. Speaking of which, man, Lakeyah Dene. So I want to get into that, right? It was something she said you did, man, that was dope to me. And I want you to explain why did you do this. She said she was trying to get you to manage her in the beginning, but you told her to finish high school.
Absolutely.
Why would you tell an artist that at the time is dope, talented, young, every credential you can have, knowing that she gonna be where she at today visually because she had the following, say, no, I want you to get your education first, because that's very important to the audience, especially being a rapper.
But one is this.
Because most people don't look at that, bro. They thinking about what they can get right now. So for you to say, come back to me if you see, bro, that's so deep. I'm trying to put it together how important that is. It speaks more to you, like as an individual. Like, nah, boss, go on get your little business degree, go on do this, and then come back and let me know if you're serious. That's just kind of like, so break that down.
It was like this. When I was originally approached about the talent, I'm old enough to be her father, fam. Like,
okay.
Guy, you know what I'm saying?
Say less.
So when I've been with my wife,
about 25 years.
No. 28.
Okay.
So out of the whole time we've been together, she's never asked me to listen to anybody. I've been doing music the whole time. She never asked me one time to listen to one artist. Me.
Yes, that's what you told her, right?
Me, Rico, Jermaine Dupri, Danger, Marcella, Ryan Toby, we were D-Town. We were all in the studio with Usher. So me and Rico was actually in a session with Usher recording a song Rico wrote with him. My wife calls me back to back. Anytime that happens, I got to see what's going on. I need to take a break right quick. So I go to see, make sure ain't nothing wrong. I'm in Miami, bro. I make sure ain't nothing wrong. And she was like, I got somebody I need you to hear. I'm like, I'm in the studio. We working. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear, text it to me, and when we done, we get through, we take a break to watch. Because at this time, this is when what's that show with the dragons that was on HBO?
Dang, I can't remember.
Dang, it was a show that everybody used to watch, but all of them that I named watched this show, but me.
Okay.
But I can't think of the name. It's like Game of Thrones is the name.
Game of Thrones. Okay.
It was on a Sunday because Game of Thrones was on.
Okay.
Was coming on. And it was like all of them was like, we gotta take a break and watch Game of Thrones. All of them watch Game of Thrones. I never watched one episode of my life. So that's a time for me to go handle business or chill, kick it, whatever on the phone.
Okay.
So Game of Thrones come on, they watching it. I called back, so what's going on? She's like, I just sent you some YouTubes. It was of her.
Okay.
She's like, I just did her makeup for her senior pictures. So for her senior pictures, my wife did her makeup. That's how I even know who she was. I never would have known who she was had that not happened. So once she did her makeup, I said, oh man, who is this little girl? She cold. She like, she a rapper or whatever. She saw you on my, a picture of you in my studio. She said, I want to work with your husband, blah, blah. So I reached out to you. But after I saw how cold she was, she's like, I ain't never called you about no artist. So I'm like, well.
Did your wife tell her who you was?
No. I guess, I don't know how that happened. I wasn't in the room.
Okay.
But she obviously knew who I was.
Okay.
Because I wasn't there. I'm in Miami, bro.
And for her to not know you, not to know her, because you all know your dad.
I'm
but
old,
she figured out who you was.
Yeah, I'm old, so I wouldn't know who she is, fam.
Yeah, but she figured out who you was.
So long story short, my wife sent me a bunch of clips. It was like it wasn't Trapped in the Closet, but it was like a series of raps that she did. But it was like how R. Kelly did Trapped in the Closet. It was a bunch of parts. It was that type of thing. I'm like, man, this little girl cold. So I said to my wife, tell her when she graduate high school, because he's doing her senior pictures, so obviously she's still in school, to holler at me and I'll see how I can help. She never reached out to me to be her manager. It was nothing like that. It was just to help because I'm a OG in the game. So I'm like, I help her however I can. So long story short, she graduates and moves to Atlanta. So when she moves to Atlanta, she reaches out to me, said, I'm here in Atlanta. I'm trying to, look for a place to work, studio, this and this and that. Well, my godson has a studio in Atlanta. So I'm like, all right, I'm a man of my word. I'm going to, reach out to people I know to see what we can do. And I would just have my godson, Jamin, record her because I taught him how to do everything. And plus he had his own studio. I'm like, just record her, man. I just tab the bill. I just want to make sure she from the mill. I want to make sure she get everything. You know what I'm saying? Get as an artist.
Okay. So
then we had a conversation and she explained to me she went to the Trap Museum, the T.I.
Trap Museum down in Atlanta.
She went there. And she saw the label QC she wanted to be signed to. She had all this in her mind, bro. Like everything that happened for her, she manifested it. So I'm like, okay, that's what's up. And P reached out to her. Maybe I don't know the month. Maybe September or October of that year. This was like 2019.
Okay.
So it maybe been August. I don't know. So it was sometime in 2019 he reached out to her. But then he just faded. When some things, life happened, and he just was, going on other stuff. He got a company full of people, so whatever. So she'd do these Music Monday things, or she would rap in her car. You know what I'm saying? So this one particular day, she sent me. She did. Yeah. We paid with Little Baby and
42 Dub.
Yeah, 42 Dub.
42 Dub.
She did a version of that. So I'm like, we finna shoot a video to this. This code, you snap. Like, we finna shoot a video. I found it was a young lady I knew in Atlanta that shot a video on iPhones. So because my goal, the idea was you don't want to look too polished because then you look like you made it. So she shot the video. Yeah, you can go look on YouTube. It was shot by, I think the young lady's name was Jasmine. She's from Philly. Okay. She shot. I said, because her girl was her style. I said, man, y'all get the looks together, and I'm gonna have Jasmine shoot the video. I'm gonna take care of everything. You just gotta get your look and your hair done and all that type of stuff. You take care of that. I take care of the video. So instead of her doing it in the car like she normally does, she does the video. Mm. So when she do the video and put the video out on her Music Monday, Little Baby sees it, and he was like, I don't know who this, and it's still on Twitter to this day. I don't know who this girl is, but she cold. Which obviously Little Baby talking, P watching. So then P reaches out to her. Now I'm not her manager, bro. I'm just a dude who helping. Now I believe in it, like I think she dope. Okay. So I didn't discover that. People are like, oh, she made it because of me. No, I didn't discover her. I just wanted to help somebody from Milwaukee. That's it. Okay. I was a producer. So most managers, when they working with artists, when the artists make money, they make money.
Okay.
I had been making money. I had been in the studio with everybody by then. This is 2019, bro. I started my career in 2004.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 2003. So
Right.
I've been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was nothing about that situation that was anything that was coming from that situation was extra money to me.
Okay.
But I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I was just trying to help somebody from the mill. I want to see the Milwaukee shine. That's it. For example, I reached out to you. I never talked about money with you. I just wanted to see how I can help. That's it.
Right.
So, long story short, P reaches out, and then she called me and said, "Man, P just called me. I told him to call you." I'm like, "All right, what are you trying to do?" He trying to sign me. Before I can hang up with her, I see a 415. I don't have his number saved at that time. I just see a 415. I said, "Well, I think this is him. I'm gonna call you right back." So he like, "I want to sign," because my email address was in her bio.
Mm-hmm.
So he like, "I want to sign your artist." And my mom like, we didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "All right, cool. Let's figure it out." So long story short, we ended up a couple weeks negotiating, and then she got her deal or whatever. And then, and my goal was to make sure.
So not to go over there, you basically negotiated and got her a deal without y'all even having legit paperwork. I didn't get. Well, not get her a deal, but you kind of negotiated.
I wanted to make sure. My goal was to make sure
a deal was right.
Yeah, I didn't want her to get got.
But y'all didn't even have nothing established.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, by that time, yeah, because when she reached out to me about it the first time, she kept talking because she was talking to me about management.
Okay.
The first time he reached out, she was talking to me about it.
Okay.
And I was just dragging my feet trying to help. And then the top of 2020, mind you, he reached out in 2019.
Okay.
But even that whole time, she was just in the studio. She recorded what was the first song? Big Flexer. My godson recorded that song with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some records she did that we ended up using that my godson recorded. That she recorded that with my godson.
Okay.
So my goal was just to keep her working, to keep making sure her skills stay sharp, and she didn't get discouraged or whatever, which I didn't think she would be, but I'm just, that's your goal, that's your thought process as an older person who's been in this industry. So that was it. So we did a deal, we signed the deal agreement January 2020 is when I think we did it. Somewhere in there, man. I can't remember.
January 2020. Okay.
Something like that, in the beginning of 2020.
Okay.
But he had already reached out to her in 2019. I wasn't a part of her team or anything at that point. She had another manager that was helping her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I guess she didn't. Whatever that situation was, she ended up wanting me to do it, type of thing. So I was like, I ain't managed artist in so long, and then I got my whole producer side going on. You know what I mean? I'm still in the studio working and everything.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, I think our last artist we worked with before the pandemic was either French Montana. It was somebody like that we was in the studio with.
Okay.
And the pandemic shut everything down.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it's like let's just keep figuring out things to do. So she just kept working, and then the we paid thing happened, and then that's when Pete wanted to, do the deal with her, deal with her, and I just wanted to make sure she was straight. I just didn't want her to get.
So you just came in like as a mediator.
I ended up managing her when it was time to do the deal.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I took her to the label. It was none of that. It was just he was watching, and she was consistent. She is a wizard at social media. She's always been a wizard at that. I'm old. I'm not good at it. I got 10,000 followers right now, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what it was. It was just making sure that somebody was successful from the city, and we did well.
Yeah, because I remember when the first initial video dropped for the Midtown meetup.
Yeah.
My guy was locked up with her father, and he called him and told, we had a car club. You know what I'm saying? We had Benzes and all that. So me and my guy, we orchestrated everybody. We brought all the cars. I'm actually in the video. I got a couple clips in there. So we was just happy to see somebody from the city.
Yeah.
And we all came out and showed love. Boom. Now that get to going and that get to rolling. Like, that's big. Then the storm came. And what I want to say is, this was a storm to us.
Okay, I've said us.
Not to you.
We was in New York having the ball, bro.
The storm that came. No, hear me out. I'm talking about the off the porch interview. Where was you at when you seen the clip, and what did you tell her?
It wasn't off the porch. It was Breakfast Club.
No. Off the porch was the initial interview where she actually said what the city was known for.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The Breakfast Club interview was when Pete brought her there to get her cleared up. But initially, she was on off the porch.
You're right.
And
guess what?
And dude from Milwaukee and asked her.
I didn't take it. No, I didn't say nothing to her because I didn't care. Listen,
so
bro,
you didn't say no. You didn't say nothing. Okay,
I didn't
because
because I didn't care, bro.
Okay.
The only people who felt something about it,
obviously, from the town.
Yeah, but no, not from the town. It was just people who wanted to have something, feel something about, bro. You got to realize when you in the business, when you in business, right, doing real things, in real big business, you're not worried about what nobody talking about at home, bro. You just not. You not. What we're doing is we're trying to make sure the career continues to move forward.
So my question is, do you think it was the right thing to say?
I feel like if you feel away and you got something, you got ambitions, and you want people to understand you have ambitions, stand on it. Period. I don't care who. Bro, listen. If I feel away, I don't care who don't like it. Okay. That's how I feel. So if she said she didn't say nothing wrong, she said something to the effect of I have. Ain't what much for me to do. She said, and she pointed her. Well, ain't much for me to do there, but be a CPA or do nails or hair, whatever.
Be a nail tech or a CNA.
Yeah, CNA, right? Yeah. Right.
But she said that's all you can be there.
She said it wasn't nothing for me to be in there, but these were my options.
Something like that, verbatim.
But at the end of the day, she was talking about herself. So anybody else took something about it, that's on them. You ain't gotta explain.
No, I ain't gonna lie. That shit went viral in the city.
What's understood it called. Be explained.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Chad.
I'm standing on that.
No, listen. We ain't gonna agree on everything.
Yeah.
And I respect that because I got my own mind. You got yours.
Facts.
But I'm just saying, before that clip even hit, man, it was all love. I watched everything. It was love. It wasn't no hate. It wasn't nobody trying to form no opinion.
It was only a matter of time.
Everybody was happy. Listen.
It's only a matter of time. Boss.
Listen, hear me out, boss.
I'm telling you from what I done been through this.
You know how I know everybody was happy? Because I watched. If you look in that video, you got Chicken in that video. You got the whole city.
I know who
you got everybody that was happy.
I'm familiar.
Happy. You got Destiny. Destiny was there.
I'm familiar, bro.
Everybody.
I'm very familiar.
So that shows you who was really. The city was proud, bro.
All I'm gonna say to this is everybody you just named.
The city was proud.
All I'm gonna say,
I'm telling you, boss.
You just named Chicken. You just named Destiny.
I'm saying all the big artists that's big in the city.
Right. So some of these artists are gonna be bigger in the city. Right. Yeah. Now, guess what? It's only a matter of time. They're gonna start hating on them too.
Yeah, but
all I'm telling them is be prepared.
Now, Chad, you're right. It's a matter of time. But I feel like that one was self-inflicted.
Bro, you are entitled to your opinion.
I feel like it was a self-inflicted wound.
I'm not here to debate or defend.
Because I know they hate. They hate regardless. You right about that.
All I'm gonna say is I'm never here to debate or defend when somebody stand on something.
Okay.
If you feel all you can be in the city that you're from is those options and you want better for yourself, then make it happen. And she did that.
Yeah, the overall is what
I don't care what nobody thinks.
So now from that standpoint, you're right. If you got your own mind, you should know you could be more.
Come on, man.
But that's not the reality we live in.
No, that's not the reality they live in.
Yeah, okay. That's
not we.
Yeah.
That's not the reality
Let me
they
correct
live
that. I got you, Chad. That's not the reality
Yeah.
people live in.
Yeah.
They feed off the negative aspects. Now, to be honest with you, I remember you had when Pete brought her to Breakfast Club, he definitely brought her there and made her like kind of speak on it because he wanted her. He said it, hey, you ain't gonna clear that up.
Yeah.
So obviously he felt it was the wrong thing to say.
Again.
And hear me out. I hear what you're saying.
Peter King will tell you to stand on how you feel.
But
Peter King of that.
But why would he have her walk something back on a big platform like that?
What she did was said exactly what I just said to you.
Okay.
She was speaking on herself. If I say what I don't want for me, where I'm from, I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
This ain't got nothing to do with you.
Okay.
What I eat don't make you shit, and vice versa. So for example, if like me, I wanted better for myself when I was from here too.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I left and made something happen for me.
But you ain't got no clips talking about you can't beat nothing in
That's because nobody asked me. If they would have asked me, I would have named some things. I'm just keeping it real, bro.
Listen,
I can't. I
feel you.
My goal is not what people think of me is none of my business, bro.
Okay.
That's their opinion. My goal ain't here to go around the world change. I got kids to raise. I got everything going on in life. Last thing I'm trying to do is worry about what somebody feel because of what I said about myself.
Okay.
That's on you.
No, you're right. So like I say, you ain't look at it like it was nothing she didn't either. And that's cool. So moving forward, what I understood was that you and lakeyah was together for, was it 3 years or 2?
Like 3.
About 3 whole years. And every year y'all increase in success
every single year.
Like, and I don't know the numbers, but I like watched it. Like, I watched that shit grow. And
success, bro.
I like that. I like that you don't. It's one thing about you. You just really don't like taking credit for nothing. You like to. You like to make it. No, hear me out.
I didn't write one rap.
I get it. You don't never like taking credit for nothing, which
Yeah.
which is good. Listen, it's a good trait to have in this industry. That's why you made it far as you made
Facts.
it, because most people are just credit based.
Yeah.
They don't even care about the work. I just want the credit.
Right.
I put them two together. I made that.
Yeah.
Or that don't even matter. The matter is what you talking about, the success. Yeah. So in them 3 years, what was the growth like for you?
It was the growth for me was to make sure I maintain patience.
Okay.
Because you got to understand, there were places that I've been that my client hasn't been before.
Okay.
And there were places that neither one of us had been before.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I've never been a part of what was the thing where they put everybody, the source thing, when they freshman cover.
Yeah, fresh cover. Yeah.
So there were things that we've been to as a team together that we've never been before. There were things that I've done before. I've been to the Grammys and all this type of. I've done all that, but there were other things that we've never done individually as well. So my goal was to make sure.
Okay.
Your goal as the manager is to make sure that you are the chief operating officer.
Okay.
Meaning that everything within that brand is running smoothly, and making sure that your artist is only concerned about their art.
Okay.
That all the business is being taken care of. That you're very extremely responsive. That you make sure every single deal has an exclamation point. All the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and exclamation points are put on it. So it was a great experience for the both of us.
For the 3 years.
When we parted ways, it was amicably between us two. We both have love for each other. We just seen each other at the Grammys this year.
Okay.
Like,
dope.
what's up? What's going? Like, it was just love, bro. Like, there was not everything. Everything has seasons, and when you understand that, and then you have success to go behind that, like, bro,
you can't knock it.
Yeah.
So now, not to get too far in business, but it was reported that y'all collectively took her situation from 5 figures, 6 figures to almost millions.
I can't comment on that, bro.
I'm like, hey man, they say y'all made a lot of money, man. All right, say less, man.
Let's just say God is good.
God is good.
I never speak on nobody else's business.
God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good.
Yeah, man. So talk to me.
All I'm gonna say is God is good, man.
And like I say, man, that was a dope situation for the city, man. And I had recently seen what everybody else seen with the with her leaving QC. And I don't know the industry as well as you, but I always looked at it like when QC sold Quality Control, I don't know how many years ago, I think that was like 2 years ago. Normally when a company, it's like, if I sell you my house, you don't have to keep my tenants.
Absolutely.
You can either make them stay or raise the rent, make them leave. So how does that work with a label? If you buy a label,
it's different.
Is it different?
It varies,
how that work?
Bro. It's a bit what you
because
don't know.
lakeyah say she didn't get dropped. Everybody says she got dropped.
I'm not part of her team, bro. So I can't.
So you can even
I can't speak on that.
You can't speak on that.
All I'm gonna say is every situation is different.
Okay.
At the end of the day, lakeyah never lied to me.
Okay.
So when she say something to me, it is what it is. Our relationship was cutthroat,
and that's real.
So she always if she didn't like something, like if we were on a set, we shot a lot of videos, bro. If we were on a set and she didn't like a scene, I got that scene removed because my client didn't like that scene. So we not doing that scene.
Damn.
She was very like, brother. She was young because I think when she got her deal, she might have been 18 or 19. She was young, bro. She was an adult, but like just a brand new adult. And we had the kind of relationship where she can keep it funky with me and vice versa.
You know, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
That means, because how you explaining how she is, that's kind of like her bravado in her music. Like, I just looked at her as a very confident girl. Like, she was super confident. Like, her approach in that booth is like shark-like. Like, she like a shark.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, for you to say she keep it funky, keep it real all the time, I could believe that because the way her
See, people
demeanor is in her persona.
Yeah, people are speaking from what they don't know. They haven't spent time with her. They haven't had dinner with her. They haven't. It's things about different individuals that they haven't done.
Yeah.
So there's nothing anybody can say negatively about that young lady to me, because I spent hours of flights. We flew to different countries together. We did a lot of stuff together over those times. But bro, I probably got 1 million sky miles on Delta. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably got 700,000.
And you understand it's about the industry. Do you feel that since the hip hop industry has always been a male dominant industry, that women have to be a little more harder, a little more uptight about certain things? Because I think women get a bad rap, bro. Overall in hip hop,
when you're a female and you're direct, it's just like how they doing the president, vice president Harris.
Yeah.
When she say something, they try to make it, but then you got a mediocre white man saying something, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this dude is mediocre at best.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? But then you got an intelligent black woman saying something. She's an angry black woman. She this and that. Now I'm not picking a side. I'm not telling nobody who to vote for. But that's if they gonna do it in the presidential thing, they gonna do it in everything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with any woman, if they're direct and they know what they want, it's categorized as one thing. But if a male artist do the same thing, he a boss. Like, why are we splitting hairs, bro?
Yeah.
It's either it is or it ain't. It's not. It's nothing in between. And how people can perceive you.
Yeah.
And even the crazy part is, you know who will talk bad about women? Women. It won't even be men. Women will talk bad about women. And guess what?
You talking now?
If they was in the position,
they
probably would be the same way, because they understand once they understand what the business is. It's about what the business is. So at the end of the day, man, people can have their thoughts and feelings and whatever. I actually worked with a young lady. We went through some stressful times and some hard times, not like a financial, just the business of things. And some ups and downs, but that's a part of the game. If you go in anything thinking it's going to be smooth, you need to do something else.
Facts. No, I feel
you know what I'm saying? So we had some extremely good success. We were able to do some
great
groundbreaking things.
Yeah.
And that's it, bro. We built great relationships that I still retain. I still talk to P to this day, right now. I don't even have an artist on his label. I still talk to him. When Little Baby came in town and had a concert, guess who P called to make sure he went to the studio after? Called me. And I got Baby to the studio.
You got them relationships.
Yeah.
That's
so
important.
at the end of the day, it's about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I have nothing negative to say about that.
No, I wouldn't. I would never want you to say that negative.
I know you don't, boy. But there are viewers out there watching that want to hear that, but you can't get that from me. Yeah. Because it was we started from zero and ran it all the way up.
Yeah.
So, bro, what can I say wrong?
Yeah, she did an amazing job. So, no bullshit.
And she will continue to do amazing things with her team that she has now. And she will continue to write all that. Don't nothing change, bro. Yeah. When you have talent, when God has blessed you with the gift that young lady has.
Listen.
Come on, bro.
You can't deny the talent.
Come on, man. The young lady is extremely talented, bro. So
the girl is dope.
People can feel how they want to feel. One thing, it don't stop, is what God got for you.
I say that all the time.
For all of us, bro.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Man, I'm not here to
say nothing negative.
Man, I had an amazing time. We did some great things. We did some great numbers. And she was the first one from the city of Milwaukee to be on the what you call that?
The SML freshman.
The first female to be on the freshman cup.
Yeah.
I think K-Cal might have been on there before.
And did the hip hop cipher.
Yeah, all that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So the BET cipher.
Yeah, so we looking for other. Yeah, we did that because we did it with like Tootsie and a bunch of other cats that did. Yeah, so we did that too. Yeah. But I'm just looking for the next success stories, bro. We don't. Yeah. It's not a cap on success from the city, and that's what the city has to understand. We waiting to continue to champion like the JPs and all the other kids, you know.
And another good thing I did see, I seen her and Destiny Lynn hang out at a video shoot.
Yeah, but there was never a problem with them.
And they try to separate them.
They couldn't though. There was never a problem.
They tried so hard. Yeah. The city tried to divide them so bad.
But there was never.
So when I seen them come together, man, I was so happy. Bro, speaking of that, right? Not to cut you off. Speaking of that story, because we're gonna wrap up in a few. But to speak of that story, the same divide they try to do that too. They try to do with me and my God, Big Money.
That's my man.
Real Street Comics, right?
Man, yeah.
I'll tell you the story. About 2-3 years ago, we met. We locked in behind the scenes. I got half of the city. He got this half of the city. These people on my side, they didn't like this. People on his side, so they trying to put us together, pin us together. We exchanging stuff together. Like, look at this. They trying to divide us.
Yeah.
Now, to Big Money credit, what I respect about him, before his stuff took off, he wanted to click up. I personally didn't see how it worked.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't see it. Then even after he blew, he came back again and was like, nigga, let's figure something out. I was like, no, I wouldn't feel right doing it. And you know, long story short, it's like we used to look and show each other stuff. Like that's why we just did our interview that's gonna come out. It's like the cat out the bag now because they don't even know. Like you can't try to divide us because we're one of the same. We brothers. We in the struggle together. And to speak to that, I want to speak to how did you connect with Big Money? Because one day I was just listen. I go on my man page. I look in this nigga bio. Man, I called that nigga. I said, hey, man, what the hell? He like, man, what's up, man? So I seen the connection, right? And I laughed and I called him right away. And I was just, because he didn't know a lot. But it was kind of like between DJ the barber, and me just topping it up with him. I liked it that. Yeah. How did that connection come together?
DJ the barber. So DJ is like a nephew to me.
Yeah.
So when DJ was my son is Deuce is 3. I've known DJ since he was Deuce age.
Ain't that Ice Mo's son?
Exactly. That's why it's DJ.
Yeah, DJ.
Damone Jr.
Yeah, Damone Jr. Yeah, Ice Mo's son.
So Ice Mo, my main man from back in the day.
Okay, so that's the connection.
So
I should have put that together.
So DJ, I would see Money all the time when I would get Deuce. DJ cut Deuce hair. So DJ would come out to the house to cut Deuce hair because Deuce was a kid. I didn't want him around people. Okay. So he would come to the crib and cut Deuce. Okay. So one time we go to Deuce is of age now where he can actually go into the barbershop. Okay. So I take Deuce to the barbershop and I keep seeing Money. But I'm not on internet, I'm not on social media. Right. Like that. So when he doing the shows and stuff, I don't know, I'm not familiar because I'm not online. Okay. So I just always see Money in there. We just was speaking and just cool. So DJ must have pulled Money aside and told him who I was. He was like, what? Money was like, what? He do what? Who? He was like, DJ was like, yeah. So then I didn't know this. So the next time I come back, Money wasn't there. DJ was like, hey man, you my man Money, he got this show. I'm like, I'm not familiar. Like, show me what you're talking about. So he showed me. I'm like, oh dude, got something, bro. Tell him to keep going, bro. If he ever needs some help, to holler at me. If I can point him in the right direction or put him with some people, just tell him, let me know I'm available. He can reach out to me. You can just give him my number. It's no big deal. And then DJ called me like 2 hours later, like, hey man, my man want to link up with you. I'm like, all right, when he available. So we ended up setting a date. We sat down, chopped it up. He explained what his vision was, and I explained. I'm trying to explain to him what I've done. He's like, I already know everything, bro. You ain't gotta tell me. I know everything. I was like, well, it's gonna take time. Everything works in steps. Yeah. So the goal is to make sure the business is allocated correctly. To his credit, majority of his business was on point. It was just a couple pieces he was missing, and I helped him fill those gaps. And that was it, man. I just deal with everybody that I've worked with. I deal with genuine people. That's why, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm gonna ride with them. And that's how I am. And
it's funny too, cause dude, the Kid Low dude in Detroit that offered him the $100K for the podcast deal. He said it on the couch. He said, "Man, you didn't look like you had a team like the guy I talked to." I said, "Whoa!" It was just funny because I'm laughing because I'm watching an interview. I know who he's talking about. But but what I liked it about that, even if a nigga was messed up, right, and he needed the money bad, no, let's not take it because if we put this out in the air, now they know you turned down 100,000. And what you think the next one?
But bro, we pay 100,000 in taxes.
But you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I give them like
the next one gonna be some.
I'm like, are you serious, bro?
The next deal gonna be like some millions now because it's already in the air. Yeah. So I liked it that man. And
but the thing was this: anytime, and I'm telling you this as well. Anytime somebody's trying to take an exclusivity away from you, it's a no-go. Anytime somebody's trying to take the intellectual property from you, it's a no-go. It has to be hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. because they can't duplicate you. Because at that point, they can dictate who and what you are on your platform, and that's not what you ever want.
Okay.
Period.
That makes sense.
So anytime those two things, it's a no-go. And I say that in music as well. You have to always maintain some kind of authenticity.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I'm like, most people look at it like, man, if he turned down 100,000, we got to get this man some millions.
No, facts though. I when he said the number, I laughed. I literally laughed. He's like, "What's funny?" I'm like, "That number, bro. Are you serious? Like, who you think you talking to?"
And you know, and don't get me wrong, that it's good that he was even offered that because it shows he does have value.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that lets you know, like, okay, we got something to work with because he has value. People's looking at that. And while we turning it down, the next person, that's in the air now. So we know not to, you know what I mean?
The thing is, before you make offers, you have to understand the statistics behind who and what you're offering.
Yeah.
If you go pull stats on him, I said, bro, have you even tried to do your due diligence and pull some stats? I think you should do that first before you even just throw numbers out there. I said, because that money could be taken as an insult if you don't know the stats behind what you're talking about.
Oh, I know you.
And then then I started letting him know, like, this ain't homeboy shopping network.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this real business over here.
I like that.
Even I'll give you another example. Somebody took one of his clips and tried to put it on their project.
Hit Boy.
I wasn't gonna say no names.
I was about to say he told me already, but you know, this is my man. He talks to me every day. But
at the end of the day, I had to make a phone call.
Yeah.
We can answer this the easy way or the hard way.
Ooh.
It's however y'all want. And at the end of the day, we don't want. We just want. I just want everybody to get what they got. What they negotiate. So I said I'm gonna lay some options out on the table for y'all. Y'all take a week and y'all give me a call back. Cause y'all already did. Y'all already released it. Y'all at our discretion at this point. You can't release nothing without my intellectual property without clearing it. So at the end of the day, and it's love. Don't get it twisted. It's all love.
It's love. I see.
It's nothing but love. But at the end of the day, when people view you as whatever they want to view you as, this goes back to everything we talked about previously.
Yeah.
It's not my business until it is. So at this point, we gotta figure something out that's mutually beneficial for everybody.
That makes sense. That was dope.
And then we just got it right. It didn't take long, and that was it, man. So that's
yeah, I like that.
If nobody got anything out of this, always remember this: those people out there. When it comes to Chad C. No Roper, I believe in strictly positivity. I like to mind my business or my client's business, and I'm gonna ride with the people I rock with. 1,000%. Whether you like, not you, but whether they like them or not, that's none of our business.
Facts.
Because we're too busy being successful to even worry about what else is going on.
That makes sense.
You understand? Well, whoever it is, whatever. So that's always my goal with whoever I'm working with. And if you wrong, I'm never gonna call you wrong in front of people. I'm gonna pull you to the side.
Like a real
and say, listen, I'm rocking with you, but let me tell you where you messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
So that's all it is, boy, man. I don't want people to get it misconstrued. And then don't let someone's confidence make you feel inferior.
Thanks.
Because at the end of the day, it should encourage you to step your game up as well. And I think that's what our community lacks.
Sure.
Because we're not being taught confidence. So when we see confidence, we confuse it as arrogance. When realistically, it's just you're confident in yourself. Yeah. So I just encourage everybody watching this to, man, be the best you. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Chad Roper, man, really speaking. My man.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It was a blessing, man. It was a privilege, man. And listen, before we go, I want to tell everybody out there one thing about a dream: it never expires. All right?
Believe that. Ah!